The team did this move where they said all week long that at guard for Sam Cosmi, Andrew Wiley was going to start and play. And they clearly told the network the same thing because they had him in the graphic. They have these meetings and all week long the whoever's doing the game, and it was Netflix in this case, like they get the inside information. So they had the Wiley graphic there. But Allegretti was on the field to start at guard and was the guy they chose. Did I miss that something happened to Wiley? He obviously came into the game later when they had to kick Allegretti over to center. There's no way that was like a subterfuge bit. Please tell me that this was not some competitive advantage thing that they thought they could gain by saying, we'll trick him. We'll tell him it's Wiley, and then it'll be the other former Chiefs backup.
Well, if that's not the explanation you want to hear, then I'm going to be quiet. Because that's exactly what I think they were trying to do. They think they're the Patriots. Everything that they do, they act like this is Foxborough East. And it is frustrating at times. And we'll get to Adam Peters, obviously, throughout this hour as we talk about the puppies playing well. But I just kind of shrugged my shoulder at it. It's crazy because Wiley came in at guard when he did come in at guard after Biotish went down. It was moving people. Play well. I know this is a way too far ahead look, but, I'm down to bring both of those guys back as backups again. They're quality, fringe starting level dudes that play well for you.
Yeah, their offensive line is better than it gets credit for.
Mm-hmm.
I think PFF, sometime last week when I looked it up, had them 7th, I believe, in the NFL this season in terms of some of the grading. I don't know whether you think they're 5th or 10th or 12th.
They're a top 10 group, I feel like.
There's a line of demarcation you've got to be above, like a requisite level of play that is necessary, and they're clearly on the other side of that. With the Jaden Daniels dialogue, occasionally you'll hear people say, oh, well, this line's terrible, they get him killed. No, it isn't, and it hasn't been, by the way. They have maybe the best left tackle and pass pro in the sport, who they need to pay big money to this offseason, in Laramie Tunsil. Connerly has been up and down irrefutably, there's no doubt, but I would say that even a detractor on his season, looking at him saying, like Jay Gruden, has been more down and more negative about him in our weekly appointments. He'll be on with us on Monday. I guess it'll be Danny and Kedrick, but on Monday, Jay will join them. He basically said that he thinks Connerly's been a bottom 10-ish tackle. That's a guy that into next year, long-term, looks like a building block that looks like a really, really good player. And on the interior, I think they've been really solid.
Yes.
Getting Cosmi back, huge deal at right guard. Paul is starting over Coleman, not because Coleman can't do it, but because they like Paul better. They've chosen to go that route. They may pay him and keep him. Biotish, who got hurt yesterday, is obviously a steady Eddie at center. But this is a very, very solid offensive line. So if Allegretti, I don't know that you would keep both of them. Maybe it's a little redundant, but if you choose one of those guys, both of them.
I'm saying Allegretti is he's clearly got a role as your backup center and your backup backup off the bench as an interior guy. And I think Wiley could be your swing.
If they just brought everyone back on the line, I honestly would have no problem.
Me too. I'd be A-okay with it.
And how many positions can we say that about? That's probably it.
That's the crazy part is remember when Adam Peters was hired, man? I was walking the Chicken Basket in Gaithersburg, and I get the Odyssey app alert on my phone, Washington.
Wait, you're walking what?
Walking the Chicken Basket in Gaithersburg. Awesome chicken spot.
Why are you acting like it? Do I know what Chicken Basket? What is that?
Chicken Basket. I feel like our listeners out there. There's some folks out there driving around in Montgomery County. Moco,
is that a Maryland thing?
It's a Montgomery County thing.
Okay, even more specific. Virginia's doing great. So what is that? That's not like a Chick-fil-A. What is it?
It's fried chicken, subs, fried shrimp, stuff like that.
Well, okay,
your
but
traditional carry-out
fast
place.
Casual?
Yeah. Semi-fast, semi-casual. Semi-fast, very casual. You walk in, the owner of it, Eddie, is actually a huge mark of the station.
Oh, let's go.
So that's interesting.
So is this do you know Danny's Carryout?
Yeah, yes. It's
like that or like a Yums kind of thing?
That's more your traditional DC carryout where you do mumbo sauce and all that. This is more of your fried chicken, burgers, mozzie sticks, mozzarella sticks for those that don't know what mozzie sticks are. Stuff like that. Just fried deliciousness. Something that Danny Rouillet stays far away from.
Yeah, you sleep, first of all, on how amazing that sounds right now.
Come on.
I like to go there. Those are the types of places you get a styrofoam cup. It's a lock.
Love it.
Because it's just the big white styrofoam cup with
the perfect
the lid and the
ice
straw.
in the perfect small
100%.
circular ice. Yep.
You get that little they call them nuggets of ice, but it'd be almost like the little cubed crushed ice, the little tiny joints. And then the Coke at those places slaps you in the face. It's the best. And I just like places where you can order anything.
Yes, literally.
My dad used to hate it. We would go to this place coming back from every Redskins game, not a joke, We would go to Danny's off of 301 in
Yep.
like La Plata Waldorfy, I'm going to say. But it was this place. I thought it was the best. And it was, you could just taste the grease on everything. The fryers probably hadn't been cleaned in, in however long.
In a good week.
Bro, I loved it. Anywhere you can go in and they'll just, like, there's like Chinese food with burgers, with tater tots, with mozzarella sticks and onion ring. Like,
I need it
just
all.
got everything.
Give
It's
me
like,
everything.
Okay,
Give
this
me
was
everything.
made for me.
So I brought that up because that's where I was eating at the day that Adam Peters got hired. And I remember it was like, no way. My beloved football team that could do no right over my entire lifetime has landed the most highly sought-after talent evaluator on the market. Holy cow. And now, looking at it like a year and a half into it, there are some decisions that not only feel redundant, and we're going to get into Ben Sinnott here, and I'm going to say something to you that I haven't said off air, so you may be a little surprised at it. It just feels like, man, I need – he's hit a bunch of singles. I need some doubles, some triples, and some homers.
Well, Laramie Tunsil, I don't know if you want to call that a homer.
That's a triple because you gave up the picks, but
I'm challenging the call. It might have gotten over the fence.
Okay.
It might have hit the plant right behind the wall.
I dig
You know
that.
what I'm saying? Like I think look closely, a fan's glove might have nicked that, and then it fell
Possibly.
back down on the field. Like, bro, that's the left tackle spot.
Yeah.
And you're
Right.
locked in for the next few years.
Yes.
Now you did give up a pretty penny, to your point. But I'm going to give you that. I'm going to tell you that it's a swing and miss strikeout on Marshawn Lattimore. Like, we can each their own this thing. The only thing I'm going to push back on, I do not think your point is wrong. They have missed plenty. Is that we grade these positions as if they are positions of perfection. And I would just remind you and everybody else, this is not me trying to defend Adam Peters or be a homer. You're chasing a ghost. It's what we do with quarterbacks. I'm guilty of this, by the way. I do it all the time. But I watch every Jaden throw on all 22 after a game, and I'm like, damn, get the ball out, man.
Yeah.
Or like, you missed that. And it's like, we didn't do that 10 years ago. And I was filling in with Zabe the other day, and we had somebody on talking ball, and he's like, are the refs wrong more often, or are we just complain more? Do we just notice it more?
That's a good question.
Quarterback play is the best that it's ever been. But we're comparing these. We're chasing ghosts.
Right.
No one used to have the all 22. No one used to. If you go back and watch a tape of Joe Montana, you're gonna be like, this dude.
Right. He's a guy. He's a Hall of Famer.
This is you. Come get your goat.
Right.
Okay. This is your goat.
Right.
Like, get the ball out here, Joe. Why did you miss this guy, Joe? Why didn't you see this? It's just a different world and an expectation, and everyone's an armchair expert now. Again, I'm not.
I'm about to say,
like
me
I'm
too.
above it.
I do it. I do
I'm
it too.
guilty. But it's the same with AP. I think it's the same with these executives where. I don't know what the percentage is of the elite GMs, but like we should look at Howie Roseman's batting average. That's what you like. That's the elite. That's what you strive for. And I'll bet you it's in the 600s. Like he's batting 650, 640, whatever that is. So if Adam Peters is hitting at a 312 clip or something, I'm just making up numbers. Like it's not like he's 700 points below where he should be. It's like he's 220 points below being in the really good category and 100 points below being league average or whatever that looks like. And I just think we work back from that, especially they've been throwing a lot at the wall because they didn't have anything. And I'm not going to keep using this Rivera era excuse that I know people plan on using in perpetuity, but I do think it's perfectly reasonable still to suggest, like, it would be nice if you didn't have to add so much.
Right.
Like if I
That's
go
true.
to Wegmans with nothing in my fridge, bro, I'm coming. My wife's like, why did you buy this? And I'm like, well, I'm fat. And she's like, well, obviously, I know that. I live with you. But, like, we didn't need this. And I'm like, there's nothing. Whereas if I go there for two things, I'm not going to make as many dumb purchases.
That's very true. That's a hell of an analogy.
I just need milk and I need eggs. And, like, maybe I'll do one dumb thing. I'm going to get some chocolate chip cookies. I walk past them.
There are just little decisions that I can second guess. And here's the thing, right? I guess what would we call it? Monday morning quarterbacking. I guess this would be Monday morning GMing. I was just saying it to Darius during the commercial, and I've been kind of on this one for the past couple of weeks because I love me some Ben Sinnott as a move blocker. Like, he blocks his ass off, Grant. So if they knew that about him, GP, why did you bring back Bates? Like, they're just
Bates is still a lot better, I think, at what he – and I'm not trying to knock Sinnott. I legit think Bates is one of the best in the league at that. I think Sinnott's pretty good in getting better. You're not wrong. When you watch Sinnott, you go,
every week,
dog.
Grant. Every week he's doing it.
Okay, but think about if you don't have Bates, and it's only $7 million to do that,
right?
and you get rid of him, Now it's you're still falling off considerably to Sinnott.
From Ertz to Sinnott.
Yeah,
or
absolutely.
whoever your tight end one was. Yeah.
And I also think in a perfect world, you don't want Ben Sinnott to just be your primary blocker. You did not draft that in the second round for that reason. So this is the bigger point to your Peters take, where like if you want to put some X's in the column, I do think there's a path to Ben Sinnott. By the way, can we clap it up? 4 targets, 3 catches.
And now,
my goodness, it happened.
On
it happened.
Two catches on consecutive plays, by the way, Grant.
I mean, lest mine eyes
Come on.
Me. Now, I probably shouldn't acknowledge that FanDuel Paulson has had action the last couple of weeks.
Can you spill it to us?
Oh, I'll spill it. Darius has seen these screen grabs, angry text. So 2 weeks ago, I put $100 on John Bates to catch 2 passes. He caught 1 pass. Okay? I said, that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. Then last week I said, there's no chance they don't involve him again. They have to. So I went 2 catches for 20 yards. It was like 2 for 13 or something. Out again. Same bet. That's 2 straight weeks. And so this week I'm like, well, it's got to hit this time. Sure enough, I got busy and I didn't remember to bet. And this is why no one ever makes money. It's like the week I didn't do it, it was so obviously going to happen, right? But anyway, that doesn't matter.
I was sweating during the Giants game. We were out at Honor Brewing in Fairfax. I was sweating the whole time. I needed 1 Ben Sinnott catch for my parlay to hit, and I had think about how long I had to wait for that to happen. Oh. It was on that 36-yard. Yeah, I let out a roar inside of Fairfax, inside of the Honor Brewing, man. It was crazy.
That sweat is the best when it hits.
Oh, yes, it does. Yes, it is.
But there's a lot more that don't hit.
It was awful. Sometimes
but anyway, I think 2 things can be true. Ben Sinnott is at a place where I do think he's going to be a useful NFL player. They did not draft some dude that's going to be out of the league. I'm going to say the same about Johnny Newton. Useful NFL player. Mikey Sanders still is a much higher ceiling than these guys. But right now, this moment, if you go back, is what it looks like Ben Sinnott is going to become worthy of where he got taken at around pick 50.
Probably of course not. Yeah.
Like John Bates is a great example. He's a better blocking tight end. Now, he doesn't have the offensive upside that Sinnott has, but he was a 5th-round pick.
Right.
If you want a guy who's going to be a good blocker, you could take that dude in the 5th and 6th round. This was a 2nd-rounder who was supposed to have been Cooley. You know, he's supposed to – they're talking about use Chick Kittle, whatever. And I didn't play the Kittle game. But
yeah, because that's kind of crazy play. Yeah.
Right. That's just a little wild for me. One of the greatest tight ends of all time.
Say,
allow me to see it first.
Right.
But I think the same about Newton, and I would have picked him where they did. In fact, I would have picked him before where they did, so I would have been really wrong on Johnny Newton too. But anyway, yes, Adam Peters. There have been mistakes. There's going to be mistakes. I just think that it is a job. It's a batting average job. I try to remember that with coaches too. You know, when I get down on guys, like it's not perfect. You know, it's if CK is doing air checks, I hope every time he hears a segment where we sound like poo-poo, you know, that he's not going, this guy can't do it. I don't think that's with the lily pad leap that you make, right? It's just like, damn, that was a bad segment. And then, you know, you're looking for traits. You're looking for things that you like or whatever.
Right.
And I think that's probably the same with executives. But this is a huge offseason, to your point, for AP, for the scouting department, for everybody. And they're probably going to need more ammunition than they have with their draft picks, Lynnell, because they made the fewest picks last year. They're on pace to do the same this year. Over a 2-year span, no one's going to have added less rookie talent. That's a really good way that just puts more pressure on you to get these picks right. What did you think, by the way, before we move on, of the Netflix presentation? I probably care more about this broadcast stuff than some people do.
I'm a mark for it too, though.
Yeah, I kind of nerd out on this, but like, here's my super nerdy take. In fact, this is how nerdy I am. When I thought about doing the show today with you for 4.5 hours, the thing I was most psyched to like bring up, I get steamed up for the Netflix score bug.
Oh, it's good. It's one of the elite score bugs. Yes.
Where's Dad on this? I'm curious. Their score bug, I guess he was at the game, but he should have seen the late game. They have, so the shape of the football on the bottom, it's like without stitches, kind of like if a football's sitting there. They've got those odd, I don't even know what shape you would call it, but like rectangles without a bottom that meet in the middle on the end of Netflix. They got the score very obviously with the logos. The timeouts are very clean. The one critique I saw was that they do not have the records of the teams.
Under the name, yeah.
Now, I think that's not only not a problem, I don't care about that. I wonder if it was strategic because all of their games were bad yesterday.
Huh.
Like
Yeah, that could be a
if
thing.
you're turning on the game at Uncle Frank's house and like you're just casuals, you're like, oh, Cowboys and Washington. Wonder if these teams are going to the playoffs. Like if it says 4-11 and also Nubby, then it's a little less interesting. So I don't know if that was by design or not, but the timeouts, the clock, the game clock, the quarter, the 1st and 10, which by the way, the fastest operator, however they did
Oh my
that
goodness.
on down and distance, like Netflix.
In an era where people are getting it wrong, he was
they
fast
put
and
on
accurate.
a clinic.
Yeah.
I thought, and how much money did they spend? Like Kay Adams has
They put
become this
together a
rock
crew.
star who costs money. Burt Kreischer and Anthony Anderson and like these comedians, and they're doing these unnecessary interviews with like
Well,
Barry
by the way,
Sanders.
Grant, that was the thing that annoyed the hell out of me yesterday. It's my number one pet peeve when watching sports. Do not turn off my comment. Do not put off the game action for me to stare at Clinton Portis. And they were good at this in terms of their transition from let's do a solo shot of Portis in between plays while they're trying to huddle up and then actually show the action when the action's happening. They were good at it. It just annoyed me. And they're on like this ridiculous tape delay that was like really bad. And it was just like, that was the only part of this I didn't like. I love Iron Eagle though. And here's the other thing too that kind of annoyed me. Nate Burleson, we're getting whooped so bad that Nate Burleson starts cheering for the Commanders during the middle of the game.
That was tough.
I'm like,
Yeah.
what are we doing, Nate?
There were people that liked that in the
hated
Commanders
it, Grant.
fan base.
I hated it.
Yeah, it's not, and it's not even that he was cheering for the Commanders. It would have been worse if he was cheering for the Cowboys.
Yeah.
I just thought we jumped the shark a little bit with like, we don't need to cheer at all. We could just
Just watch.
just tell me what route he just ran and
Yeah.
why he ran it. But so Iron Eagle's a star. His son Noah is that dude. Like
Yes.
he's gonna be the next guy. And so both of them had those calls. I'm with you. As someone who did the altcasts for Monumental Sports, I'm an altcast guy. I actually really like the Manning cast. I think there's a place for them. If you have the bandwidth, it actually makes a lot of sense, and they're super fun and entertaining. The Caps ones we did, I'm very prideful about them. We would have these really good guests on. Sometimes it'd be Commanders players talking hockey, or Adam Eaton, who's a huge hockey fan, sitting in a Cap sweater, and we're just like talking about the game. Or the real cool stuff was when you have Bruce Boudreau on the couch with a former player like, I don't know, you name the guy, but like Carl Alsner, and they're talking stories about when they were there. And then they're talking about what you're going to do on this penalty kill. I learned so much. I think that's cool. But you don't need that on your traditional broadcast.
Right.
People just want to hear Iron Eagle call the play and Matt Ryan tell you what happened, or Burleson.
Well, it was more
And
Matt
so
Ryan.
that
telling
was
what
a
happened,
mistake.
But yeah.
But Sunday Night Baseball does this, where they try to turn this into like everyone wants to be talk radio. It's funny. No one wants to give us any love.
So
okay?
an industry that they say is dying, Grant. They
Right.
sure are trying to be like us.
Everyone wants to tell me when we're going to die and why we don't exist and why no one can pay us any money and all. Everybody's trying to be us, Lynnell. We're the youngest in charge. Don't you understand?
For sure.
Why don't you understand it? No. But seriously, like it is TV's trying to be radio. These local TV shows in the morning are all just 7 people sitting on a couch talking about, do you like this or do you not? They're doing radio topics. That's not news. That's radio
Right.
with a camera. I mean, TV stations now have radio. We got the Junkies. We got B. Mitch and Finley. Everybody's on all day long. So I think that they're just trying to do this, like, don't you want to have a beer with us bit? Where they're just, like, sitting around.
Trying to make it super casual.
Right. And the time and place, I get it. Like, yes, nobody's ever listened to more sports talk radio as a 12-year-old than I did. I was going to bed listening to JT the Brick, at 13 years old, like on my Sirius XM next to my bed, okay? But just let me watch the football game when I want to watch the football
That's
game.
it.
But I just want to know. I would love to know. What did Netflix spend yesterday?
Dude, when you think about it between the two games, that is and I'm not trying to like gas it, that is a all-star cast. Mike Irving, Burt Kreischer, like you said, Austin Eckler. What they had to pay Eckler, who, by the way, just didn't give us any insightful information about the Commanders. It was
no,
very
but
annoying.
still, you know what? He's going to have a good career, and that was a cool thing. I
Yeah.
think it's neat that the team let him do it.
Yeah.
When I heard he was going to do it, I did not like the idea because I was like, again, deep cut here, but why do I want to hear from a guy who's on a team? He's clearly biased. Well, they had him next to Irvin. So it actually made sense. They're like, okay, he's going to scream really loudly about the Cowboys and annoy me. Then they'll have Eckler to balance him out, and then they've got like a person that's more neutral sitting next to both of them, which I think was one of the McCourty twins, and if he gave me $1,000, I wouldn't
Grant,
know.
I don't like the two-color analyst booth.
You don't like the three-man booth?
I don't like it. Not a three-man booth guy.
It's hard if you don't have chemistry. And I think it's hard, like in these one-off broadcasts, like yesterday.
Well, they clearly don't work with each other. Well, Matt and Nate work with each other, though, so.
And I think you noticed, like, you could hear that a little bit.
Yeah.
They had a good relationship. But they're on the desk at CBS which is different. Yeah, I think the perfect booth generally for radio, especially, is two people with play-by-play and color. TV, I think you could get away with 3. If you have a really good color person, you don't need a third. But I don't mind it for like the big event feel of yesterday.
Yeah.
I do think when you go 3, it's better if you have like an offensive guy and a defensive guy.
Right. You mix it up a little. Exactly. Give me both
like
sides of the coin.
Making this up, but like if you had Vilma with Ryan, so like the quarterback gives you something.
I mean,
and then
Grant, did you have to choose just the worst color guy?
I'm trying to think of who's a defensive guy. I guess
J.J.
J.J. Watt.
Yeah, J.J. Watt.
Sure.
There
He doesn't have enough jobs. Let's give him another one.
Jonathan Vilma. And Vilma, we love you, Mr. 6'7".
It sounds like you love him, by the way.
Well, yeah.
You can't just be utterly disrespectful for like 30 seconds and be like, and by the way, I love you.
Yeah.
Like that's not how that works.
That's the. I was saying this morning. We do this in our culture. I hate to cut you off as you're cutting me off. It very much annoys me, and I do it all the time.
I hate to cut you off is good.
Yeah.
Well, it is. It goes back to no offense, or that. It's like, okay, just tell me.
Yeah,
like,
right.
Mine is I do this big complimentary delivery, and someone's like, "So what's the butt?" You know what I mean?
Right.
And I'm like, just a small butt.
A small butt.
Just a pretty small thing.